All right. So, welcome everyone to Thrivecast, Unlocking Your Full Potential. I'm Oscar. I'm an emotional fitness coach, and I help people embody their higher self so they can live their true purpose. And with me today, I have Katarina Hanssens Carlsson. Katarina, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Katarina Hanssens Carlsson, and I'm the CEO of Destiny International 11, which means what? For the past 20 years, I've been helping people to find their truth, their greatness, their vision. In other words, their roadmap to success. So I'm a global speaker and an entrepreneurial consultant. So, what's the message today? What's the topic today? What makes us unstoppable? We all want to be unstoppable, but how do we do that? What do you say, Oscar? What makes us unstoppable? What does it mean to be unstoppable?
What does it mean to be unstoppable?
Yes.
Well, to be unstoppable, I would say it is about relentlessly heading towards your direction, right? Relentlessly heading towards this fulfillment that just enhances your life more and more and more, and just building upon that and not feeling it as a strain, but enjoying every single movement of that unfolding, and just keeping at it regardless of what occurs in your life, never really losing sight of that end goal. And it's a little bit like this golden pot at the end of the rainbow, but it's also that you're moving along this rainbow, and it's a fulfilling journey. And every time you're discovering new and new fragrances, right? The rainbow has all the colors, right, from red to purple, and you start seeing how all of this is moving you and showing you the way towards this golden pot, right? That becomes your purpose, your essential, your essence that you want to move towards, whether it is in your relationship, whether it is in your business, whether it is in life, whether it is your body. It's like all these qualities that makes up life in ourselves, right? You always find new and new ways to improve on it and to keep at that in a joyful way. I would say that means to be unstoppable and not giving up. What would you say, Katarina?
Thank you, Oscar. I would say that the only thing that stops us is ourselves, but the only emotion, the only feeling that stops us is fear. Because if we were fearless, we'd be unstoppable. So, for me, what does fear mean? If you look at F plus E plus A, focus plus energy, you need focus and energy to be unstoppable. Plus A, for me, is both attitude and action. You've got a great attitude, you go into action with a great attitude, equals R, which is results and great results. So F plus E plus A equals R. So what does it mean to be unstoppable? It means, as Oscar said, you love everything that comes at you. Something's come for you, something comes at you. When stuff happens, you celebrate that. Why? Because it's an opportunity to change, to reinvent yourself, to become greater. Okay? The good stuff, you just celebrate. The other stuff, You change, reinvent yourself, reinvent yourself. If a challenge comes to you, it means you're up for it. Just be up for it. For me, it's like what's, what I do is brilliant. What I do is genius. However, technology, I'm the best I can be, but am I an expert? No, that's not my expertise. I do whatever I can. So, but it doesn't stop me. I actually find a team who can do it, who can manage technology much better than I can. So does unstoppable mean you have to do everything? No, don't even try that. Just do what you do, your expertise, as well as you can, and you can become unstoppable. So the next question is, in to be unstoppable, you need to have a driving purpose. So what is a driving purpose, Oscar?
Yeah, we've spoken about this before in our podcast, but we're returning to it because being aware of where you're putting your focus is absolutely essential. Because if you're not aware, it's like you're getting out on the ocean with a ship, right? But you don't have any destination. So you don't know where to put your rudder at towards, right? So you can hit all kinds of grounds or whatever, target stones, whatnot, right? You never really reach your destination because you don't even know what it is. So a driving purpose is what utterly fulfills you, is what you wake up every morning and like, now I'm making sure that I'm taking small steps towards this goal because it just makes all the sense to me. It gives my life meaning. It is ultimately what I solely desire in my life, right? So this driving purpose, it, again, as I said, it can be a business, it can be a relationship, it can be your body. It is really for you to find out what it is that truly stirs your soul, right? Because your driving purpose is enormously connected to your spiritual values, right? So usually, if you're not don't know your driving purpose and you're not that really of a spiritual person, maybe you need to reconnect to that essence of you too, right? So yeah, I would say that. I'll stop there. And what would you say, Katarina?
Well, Oscar, I would say that to people, listen to what makes you really angry about the world. What makes you really frustrated, really limited? Because for me, it was school. I didn't realize it at the time, but it was dumbed downing me. It wasn't finding my brilliance. It was school. I was frustrated by it. And despite that, I became a teacher. Why? Because I wanted to change the whole system, which I'm doing now, by the way. So look at what limits you, because it's the opposite, that it could be your driving purpose. I didn't know it was my driving purpose when I was at school. But when I got the idea to start a school or transform other schools, first of all, I denied it. I said, no way, because schools for me were the most boring places in the world, and people were getting dumbed down. They were not innovative. They were not dynamic. Who wanted to be at school? I couldn't wait for the holidays. Now, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. So, your anger, your disappointment, your frustration can lead you to your driving purpose. Ask yourself, what would I love to change in the world? And then do it. Is it an impossible task? Maybe, maybe not. But the bigger, the better. I told people that we are going to transform 195 schools worldwide, and they went, "Yeah." I don't care. We are beginning now. We are doing it, and we have the solutions. So yes, that's a driving purpose. So next question: why don't we all have a driving purpose and live our driving purpose? Why not?
Well, first of all, we didn't even know that that was whatever focus we should have, right? It's like we were like, well, you're born, you go to school, you get a job, it's like you're never really taught to be self-proficient. You're never really taught to understand and take care of your own inner psychology, all of these things. Like in our society, we have a tendency to separate separate our professions, right? Someone is extremely good at being a doctor, but bad at being a psychologist. Someone is a fantastic teacher, but totally worthless at psychology, or like don't know how to take care of the home, right? So it's these we become specialized in things, and we don't become jack of all trades, right? And at the same time, yes, specificity and specialty is good, but we need to have an overall understanding of how our base operation are as human beings, because we're working very similar. We just need to understand how that works and get on that train. And the problem with society is that we always we've sort of got on the wrong train, right? Because we were taught to be dependent on society in so many ways, right? Dependent of a boss, for instance, to tell us what we should do. So we lost our own sense of being our own boss and taking care and understand our own will, right? Most people don't even understand what is it that they want. So we more go into the material senses. You know what? I want a Porsche. That's it. If I have a Porsche, I'd be the happiest person on earth, right? Then you get your Porsche and you're like, ah, that wasn't it. Maybe it's a boat, right? or maybe it's a relationship, right? So we have to understand that fulfillment truly comes from this drive of inspiration towards something that almost is grander than ourselves. Then we wake up inspired and fulfilled, moving towards this this goal, or this pot of earn, or this golden pot, whatever that we're longing for, right? So I would say that is where we went wrong. I mean, it's education, and we can educate people in a helpful way, or we can stagnate people with education as well. Katarina, what would you say?
Absolutely, Oscar. This is brilliant. I mean, basically, we've created a society that puts out fires, or tries to, but the fires, keep coming. we're saying, okay, well, in school you can become a doctor or a lawyer. A doctor, you fix somebody's health. A lawyer, you fix somebody's legal problems. Or a psychiatrist. Well, yeah, people are going to be mentally they are in need of a psychologist. So we've got all this, but the problems keep getting more. Why? Because we've been dumbed down at school. No teacher has, well, very few teachers, maybe some exceptional teachers, have said, what is it, Oscar, you want from your life? And Oscar says, well, is this a lesson? And the teacher says, yeah. What do you want from your life? That's a great question to ask children between 5 and 7 years old, when they're at 98% creative imaginative genius.
Exactly.
That's when we need to ask children, what do you want? Because children will say, well, I want to be a pilot, and I want to be an astronaut, and I want to do this and this and this and this. And they're completely unlimited. And the teacher should not say, no, you can't do that. Teacher needs to say, well, let's pick one of those at least, and let's help you achieve that. So,
yeah. Or elaborate on it, like expand it even. Maybe it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're right, Oscar. Most people don't know what they want. And if you don't know what you want, you're not going to get it, right? And so they're frustrated. So that's what we need to do in schools. Not only what is it you want from your life, and find out that in every single student, but also what do you care about? What matters to you? What is your driving purpose? What do you want to do? What is it you want to change in life? Because children will tell you, they will tell you how to change the world. And they don't understand the so-called adult world of, well, you should become a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. They don't understand it. We shouldn't understand it because, okay, so we've had thousands of years of people becoming doctors and lawyers and psychologists and everything. Has it put out the fires? No, there's just more fires. So it doesn't work. So what is the question? Why don't all people have and live their driving purpose? Because they don't know what it is?
No, exactly.
Right. Okay, so next question. How do we become unstoppable?
Well, back to basics. That's the thing, right? It's because everyone needs to really understand this. We have everything we need within us. We truly do. It's just that if you've learned a way of being, you have a habitual thought and emotional process inside of you, which causes beliefs, which causes actions, which ultimately causes habits and attitudes that becomes your way of thinking. And when that becomes your way of thinking, you identify with that way of being, and the world starts adapting to your beliefs. You start believing even more what you are, right? But that's in itself is just a programming, but it's a program that has been gone on so long. So you need to unlearn again what you have learned, right? That's why they say the age-old saying of know thyself, right? But it's not. No, you need to know who is the personality you currently are. What are you thinking, feeling, and behaving and acting like on a daily basis? Like, how do you express yourself in the world as your current personality? And if that is helping you, if that is moving you forward, fine. But most people have a very limited way of viewing themselves. And when you have a limited view against yourself, then you cannot move into your driving purpose because you simply are putting up thought barriers towards what you're needing to do, right? That's why I teach people to embody their higher self, because first you need to understand who you currently are in order to then start shipping away these ingrained thought patterns and becoming aware on a daily basis of am I thinking right now, and what is the opposite of this way of thinking, right? Because everything in our reality has a duality. So when there's a negative way of looking at things, there's a positive way that is exactly the same. And when you can flip between those, you can start choosing to be that higher version of you in the now, because that's what you need, because it's in the now that you are empowered. Yeah, I could go on and on and on this because I'm extremely passionate about this. But Katarina, please tell us your view.
Okay. So, how do we become unstoppable? First of all, we have to know our own truth, not anybody else's. We have to know our own identity. And if we don't like who we are, change it. Sounds easy. It's not that easy, but choose to change it. So you need to know your truth, your greatness. It's not an arrogant word. It's actually a very humble word to know your greatness and to serve the world with your greatness. And you need to know your vision to become unstoppable. You need to know how and when am I going to do what I say I want to do, my driving purpose. So who you are, what your greatness is, your driving purpose, and how and when you're going to accomplish. And the only thing that's going to stop you, as I said, is fear, is your inner saboteur. Now, you have complete control over your inner saboteur, but your inner saboteur doesn't want you to know that. You just have to identify what the inner saboteur's false identity says that you are and your habit. Now, don't buy into the saboteur strategy. Define it and reinvent it, because it will affect your health, your finances, your relationships, every area of your life. So that's how you become unstoppable. It sounds complicated, but it's actually very, very simple. So how do we, is there something else you want to add to that, Oscar? We said enough.
No, I mean, just so people understand, but essentially what I was speaking about your old identity, right? And your old identity is held in place by your inner saboteur, because essentially every time you step outside of your comfort zone, your inner saboteur is saying, listen, we have gone here before, it didn't go well, so let's not do it, right? Let's stay small. Let's stay where you are, stay in your comfort, right? So we keep on surviving, right? Your inner saboteur essentially wants to keep you surviving, but we want to thrive. We're here to thrive. We're here to step into it. We're here to empower ourselves, right? So we need to move out of our comfort zone, which essentially always will activate our inner saboteur. So we need to get understanding of how it expresses itself, and then obviously neutralize it. Yes.
Great. Okay. So when people want to contact you, how do they do that?
Yes, they go to my website, realitydecoding.com, or to my Facebook group, Live Your Purpose, or on YouTube as Oscar Nygren. And you, Katarina, how do people get in contact?
The best way is to contact me at Catherine Carlsson at LinkedIn. You can also email me at destinyinternational11@gmail.com. So, and I'm going to leave my Calendly details so you can have a 15-minute conversation with me. So, thank you for today. And next time, we're going to talk about, are we truly educating our children? Okay, so see you.
Sort of gives itself, right, the way we're speaking it, but it's an interesting question.
Yeah. And what can we do about it as well?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, everyone, so great seeing you and talking to you again. And until next time.